Stranger.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Learn FPV Live. My name's Jeff from Vision of Skyworks. I'll be your host today. If you have any questions or help with anything FPV flying related, drop it down in the chat, and we will try to help you out as best as possible. So today we're going to have a little bit of a structure to the stream. We're going to start off with like a lesson. We'll do that for a little bit, and then we'll do like either a Q&A session if we have anybody with any questions, or we'll do just like a flow session and just give us some tips and tips and tricks and stuff like that of different flying techniques. Sorry about that. And then after that, we'll take a short break. We'll come back and we'll do the trick of the week. We'll learn a new trick today, and then answer some more questions after that. And yeah, so in that case, let's get into it. All right. So if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and type it down in the chat. So today's lesson is going to be why you're crashing as a new FPV pilot, and how to, I guess, lessen the frequency of your crashes. There's a couple reasons why new FPV pilots seem to crash a lot, and that is because either A, they're inputting the wrong control. If they want to, like, say they want to make a turn here, but they put it in the wrong control and they get all out of sorts. Or two, they're overcorrecting. Like if they're trying to go here, then all of a sudden they overcorrect and now they're, you know, laying on their head. So good drill to combat inputting the wrong controls and overcorrecting is, I think, a good drill that taught me a little bit more control with the drone is cross-coordinated turns. Meaning, so a normal coordinated turn is you're yawing and rolling in the same direction when you turn. But for a cross-coordinated turn, you're going to roll in the direction you want to turn and yaw the opposite way, and then work your pitch and throttle to stay in the air. So I'm going to make a left-hand turn here. I'm going to roll like into the turn and then yaw like 270 degrees and try to hold my pitch to keep me from flipping over. If I just do this, that's how I'm going to roll. But you don't want to do that. So I'm going to make a 90-degree turn, roll all the way around, and kind of correct yourself into the turn. This helps with that overcorrection and learning what input to use when you're trying to make a turn. So instead of that was a coordinated turn. So if I want to make a right-hand turn, I know what I'm going to have to do to get that turn to go around, working your pitch while you're turning. I'm going to be pitching down or up, depending on how my drone is oriented. So just doing this really helps out and not overcorrecting and trying to figure out what input does what when your senses get all out of sort, because this is really disorientating. And be able to correct yourself when you're disorientated is what kind of gets you past that entry-level FPV mentality, and gets you more thinking a little bit more advanced on how you want to get the drone to move. So that kind of helps out there. But yeah, so like if you get yourself all disorientated, don't know which way is up, you need to know what inputs to make to get yourself right side up again. But so that's one drill that kind of helps out. But yeah, so you guys watching, can you guys hear me okay? And if you got any questions or anything you need help with, type it down in the chat. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear me okay. So, along with cross-coordinated controls, I think another reason why new FPV pilots struggle is with their throttle control. Now that's something that's going to come with time, but I think a lot of new pilots have their camera angle down between like, I don't know, 5 and 10 degrees. And if I were to learn FPV all over again, because I did the same thing, I started with a really low camera angle. And I think this could be controversial, but I think that's wrong. I think learning with a low camera angle makes it harder to fly, because when your drone is flat like this and you have a very low camera angle, you're trading a lot of your thrust going downwards instead of laterally. So any kind of minute changes you make with your throttle, you're going to be fighting the drone up and down. So if you have a higher camera angle, I would say I would go at least start off with at least 15 degrees of camera angle, because the more you advance flying FPV, you're going to be raising that camera angle anyway, because you're going to go faster, you want to do different things. So having a camera angle to start off with at least 15 degrees. Now, instead of that downward thrust you're trading more lateral thrust. So your throttle is going to be less sensitive to jerky motions with the throttle, especially while you're learning throttle control. And then once you're getting that, you can, learn to stay at a hover, and stuff. So I would start off with a higher camera angle. My throttle control didn't really improve much until I started bumping it up to like 25 degrees. At 25 degrees, I felt very comfortable flying with my throttle control and being able to put the drone in small gaps and stuff like that, and be able to manipulate the throttle. And it seemed to kind of really calm down my inputs and my throttle being, because I'm trading a little bit more lateral thrust for downward thrust when you're get higher in the camber degrees. So those are 2 tips I think that really would help entry-level pilot improve faster. Is just the cross-coordinated turns where you're rolling into the direction you turn and doing like a 270-degree yaw the opposite way. That kind of being able to recover from that is a good way to learning to stop overcorrect and learning how to put in the correct inputs, because that's what really causes entry-level pilots to crash. Is just you expect the drone to do one thing, but your inputs do another, and then you get all out of sorts, and then you start overcorrecting because you don't know what inputs to make to get back in the position you want. So the more you put yourself in positions where you're out of sorts and learning how to correct those with either pitch or roll or yaw to get yourself in, a stable flight, I think will drastically improve your flying. That and your camera angle. So you guys watching, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. If you have any questions or anything you need help with or whatever, go ahead and drop it down in the chat. Oh, I got some big news for the channel. After 2 years of having this channel, my wife has finally subscribed to the channel. I mean, she doesn't even subscribe to Mr. Beast, so I pretty much just made it as a YouTuber, I think, because she's subscribed. I'm sure she's not watching this, so I can pretty much say whatever I want about her, but, But yeah, so that's huge news for the channel. My wife subscribes. So is there anything you guys want to learn how to do? Any tips you got maybe for new pilots? Kind of the theme today is learning to FPV for new viewers or for new FPV pilots. We went over some tips to help new pilots go get more comfortable with controls and not overcorrecting and learning to put the correct inputs. Because a lot of times new pilots crash because they expect the drone to do one thing, but they put in the incorrect inputs and they wind up crashing, and then they overcorrect when they put in those wrong inputs and crash again. So I was explaining a little bit earlier that a good drill to get yourself in a upset position and learn to correct it is doing cross-coordinated turns. So you roll into the direction you want to turn and then yaw around the opposite way and learn how to correct for that. Is a good drill for like upset recoveries and learning to put in the correct stick movements to get yourself out of any kind of bind that you might have. Because as a new FPV pilot, you're gonna crash. So no matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna crash. So the goal is to crash less frequently and crash for the right reasons. So kind of like what separates a new pilot from more advanced pilot is the type of crashes they're making. If you're crashing because you put in the wrong input or you overcorrected, that's a new pilot error, and those are the ones that make you mad. But if you crash because you're trying to pull off something and either A, you just made a mistake, or maybe you're drone just didn't have the performance to make what you wanted to do happen, those are crashes you can kind of live with, you know. But just put in the wrong input, those are what's frustrating and makes you mad. It makes you kind of want to stop flying altogether. At least for me, anyway. When I was learning, you hit like a roadblock, and you're like, I am not getting any better. All I do is crash, and it just gets frustrating until you decide you want to put in the time and just start going pack after pack and being in the simulator and start doing drills. That's going to help you, because just plug it in a pack and put on the goggles and just flying around for hours on end without any real goal in mind, and you're just banging the sticks, you're not going to get any better. You have to practice with a purpose when you're doing these things. That's the only way you're going to get better. Because if I'm just flying around and not doing anything specifically, but if I want to say I want to learn how to orbit, if I want to orbit this tower and figuring it out how to actually do that, instead of just, I'm just gonna fly around, maybe orbit, I can't do orbit, I'm gonna move on and stuff like that. But being able to actually have a plan in mind when you go and fly, that's the only way you're gonna get better. Start doing drills, do some throttle control drills. I have a video on that. I think it's called 3 simple tips to improve your throttle control. Start doing drills like that. Do the cross-coordinated turn drill like I was just showing you. Do a pack just doing cross-coordinated turns. Do a pack of just working on throttle control. Spend a whole battery just staying low to the ground, or spend a battery just trying to hover, just being right in just spend a whole battery just sitting here trying to stay in front of this cart or fly through it. That's the only way you're going to improve, is just practicing with a purpose. That's boring, I don't want to do that, I just want to fly. Well, you're going to crash, you're going to be making repairs, you're going to be spending a lot more money. I'd rather enjoy my flights than break my bank fixing my drone. But that's just how I feel. Okay, so we got a question, and Smokey says, I can't fly straight. Any tips? Yes. Don't touch the sticks. So what I mean is, if you watch my sticks on the screen, once I get going and get into the throttle, just let go. Just let go of the sticks. You're right there. You're flying straight. If I want to drop altitude, I'm gonna drop my throttle, raise altitude. I'm gonna raise the throttle. But I think what you're doing is you're manipulating these controls too much instead of just letting them settle out. So it's just minor corrections to fly straight. You're not moving the sticks a whole lot. If you're doing always correcting and overcorrecting, this is where when you start messing up. It says, I got the DJI Neo 2 FPV. Is it good? Yeah. Any drone you have is good. Anything you can learn FPV with is a good drone. I mean, it's not the fastest, most powerful drone, but if for learning FPV, it is perfect. I learned on the DJI Avata 2. A lot of people say that's a terrible drone, but I think it's great. I love it. I built a 3.5-inch freestyle drone And I love just taking out the Avata 2. The DJI drones, I think, are great to learn. There's not a whole lot you have to do, like with my 3.5 freestyle drone I have. Uh, you know, you got to learn how to build it. You got to program it with Betaflight. You got to manage your battery charging so you don't catch your house on fire. I mean, it's a whole nother world with regular FPV drones compared to the DJI ones. And I think anybody getting into the FPV, their first one should be like the Neo or the Avata 2. It's perfectly capable. It's easy for beginners. It's easy to learn on. You can pause, you know, if you get yourself in trouble, you can hit the pause button and save yourself. And I think just for building skills and flying, it's a perfectly good drone. Yeah, I would definitely recommend one. Yeah, see, he says, just got my DJI FPV Controller 3 today, and I'm practicing. Good. Keep it up. Like I was saying earlier, do drills. Don't just fly around. Practice with a purpose. And if you have a simulator, get a simulator. Practice in there. There's a lot of skills that you can learn in the simulator without actually having to fly your drone and crashing it. And you'd be surprised at how much that the skills actually from the simulator transfer over to actual flying. Liftoff, I don't have any experience with liftoff. I only know 2 simulators. This one, which is Uncrashed FPV Drone Simulator, and the Drone Racing League Simulator. I started off on Drone Racing League, which is a really good simulator, I think, to learn on. And the drones seem like they're a lot slower and more docile than what they are in Uncrashed. I'm not sure about liftoff, though. I heard it's really good. Is that the one you have? Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, spend a lot of time in there. Um, so if you, I always say, I'm a big believer in the 100-hour rule. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but the 100-hour rule goes for, like, it's usually like sports related, anything sports. So if you spend 100 hours in a year on something like sports related, you could be 95% better than anybody in the world at that discipline. So if I were, now it could be saying like 2 ways. Like if I were playing basketball, if I spent 100 hours in a year, I think, which is like, I think it comes down to like 16 minutes a day or something like that. If I spent 100 hours in a year, 16 minutes a day, practicing free throws, I'm going to be better than 95% of people in the world at shooting free throws. I know firsthand that being in the simulator 100 hours will definitely get you better. I don't know about 95% of the people in the world. Well, you got to think about how many people in the world actually fly FPV drones. I don't know. Maybe it's only 5%. So yeah, you're 95% better than all the people in the world. But yeah, spending time. That's what it really comes down to, is muscle memory and time put in. And you're only going to learn the muscle memory and stuff like that by putting it in your time. So I would spend, if you can't fly every day, spend 20 minutes in the simulator, just flying around, learning something new. So I'm going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to tackle the trick of the week. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a couple minutes.
I can't believe you. What have you done? Talking to myself, I'm not the only one. We made our bed here way too fast. I don't wanna slow it down, don't waste your breath. On and on we go, on and on we go. I don't wanna waste your time. Only if for now, I don't wanna wait tonight. I know I won't remember. I know I said forever. I know I won't remember you. On we go. I feel high, so higher than low. It's been done years before. Easy come now, where did you go? On and on we go. 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 I don't wanna waste your time. Only if for now, I don't wanna wait tonight. I know I won't remember. I know I said forever. I know I won't remember you. At the blink, I start to think I cannot sleep and it can't be beat. I can't believe it's gone this far. Take me now to where you are. Take me now to where you are. Take me now to where you are. I don't wanna waste your time. Only if for now, I don't wanna wait tonight. I know I won't remember. I know I said forever. I know I won't remember you. I know I won't remember. I know I said forever. I know I won't remember you. On and on we go. On and on we go. On and on we go. On and on we go.
All right, we are back. All right, so we've changed maps here. We're at the docks. And today we're going to practice this week's trick of the week. And today's trick of the week is going to be the Rubik's Cube. So what is the Rubik's Cube? I don't know. I'm not very good at this, but from what it is, it's a half front flip, 360 roll, and another half front flip, but a lot faster than that. So it's easier to do it. Well, it's supposed to be done close to the ground, but we're going to start just a little bit higher, and we're going to try to perfect this. So let's break this down a little bit here. So it's half front flip, 360 roll, half front flip. So we want those, if we want to get this close to the ground, we want those flips and those rolls to be able to lock into the horizon. And that roll, we want to stop a 360-degree roll kind of level, and then we're going to combine that all together. So we're going to be, oh, see, I over rotated. So once we get here, there we go. We kind of want to make that all smooth. Oh, see, over rotated. We kind of want to carry our momentum when we do those Rubik's Cubes. So let's see. Let's get... Alright, so flip, flip. Alright, so this would be flip, 360 roll, flip. Oh, over rotated. That's the hard part. Is this trick was really difficult with this trick. Is, you know, you think of a 360 roll, you're going, you know, horizon level, but you're inverted when you start this, so you have to end it inverted, and your brain doesn't really want to comprehend that much. That's what makes this trick, I think, both kind of cool and difficult to do. Ah, my finger slipped off the stick. Yeah, but this is this week's trick of the week. That's hard to say. I don't know why. Is a Rubik's Cube. If you guys, any of you guys watching ever do this trick before, any tips on how to perfect the Rubik's Cube? This is kind of the first time I've tried doing it. There's a website, I think it's called like prowhooper.com or something like that, they got a whole like trictionary and like kind of like demonstrations on how to do the trick. Wonder if there's a way to throw that into a line. I don't know. What would be a good combo to do Rubik's Cube with? Maybe if we come out of split S. That's kind of fun. Bandy roll. I don't know. Ooh, I wonder if you can do it. You should be able to do it. Do a backflip, 360 roll, backflip. Oh, look at that. I don't know what looks better, front flip or a backflip. Wow. But yeah, that was the trick of the week. So practice that this week. Practice the Rubik's Cube. Let me know down in the comments on the replay how you did doing the Rubik's Cube. Let's chase these cars around for a little bit, huh? One thing I need to work on is learning how to chase these cars. What shots to do. Another good way to learn throttle control in the simulator is chasing cars. Because when you're chasing these cars, if they're making these tight turns and you gotta turn all of a sudden, if you're not good with your throttle control, when you go to make these turns, you're gonna wind up shooting in the air. And the goal of chasing these cars is stay down low and level with the cars to make a good shot. You want to be as close to these cars as possible. So when they start turning like this and you're turning with them, you want to stay on the ground, stay low to the ground, and not shoot up in the air. You learn that you're going to be dropping your throttle and pitching back when you're making these turns. And when you're full throttle trying to chase them, you're using a lot of your pitch to maintain your altitude. So you're really always working your throttle and pitch back and forth to stay, oh no, to keep your altitude low with these cars. So that's a good way to learn throttle control in the simulator, chasing cars. I don't know if liftoff you can chase cars or not. I know Drone Racing League simulator, there's no cars in that one. This one there is. You can also drive cars with this one too. A lot of people in the multiplayer sessions, they like to get in the cars and drive them around. I think there's a couple on this level that you can actually drive. They're kind of difficult to drive though. We can go do one if you want. We'll go check that out. Let's go over here and let's jump in a car and learn to drive it. Well, all you do to drive these cars is you fly into them. So your throttle is, you know, like your throttle, and you can either just use one stick, like your left stick for throttle and turning. You can go backwards to stop and reverse, forwards to go, left to right obviously is turning. But a lot of people just like to just give it full throttle and use the right stick, or just use the left stick and start drifting. And just go for it. But yeah. Well, that's one thing I like about Uncrashed is just driving the drift cars. That's fun. But you're not here for driving drift cars. Let's go fly. Well, we got a couple minutes left here in this session. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. So let's just touch back of what we went over today. Reason why most new FPV pilots crash, because they either put in the wrong input or they overcorrect. So we went over the drill of doing cross-controlled turns for a good drill of learning to get yourself in a upset attitude and learning how to correct that and getting yourself back into the correct attitude you want to be in. So just rolling into your turn, the direction of the turn, and yawing the opposite direction when you're turning is a good drill to practice for like upset recovery and being able to not overcorrect, because we went over that overcorrecting leads to a lot of crashes for new pilots. And just being able to put the drone where you want it and control it. Basically all you're doing when you're flying is manipulating the image that's in your goggles and being able to put in the correct inputs of what you want to see in the image is 90% of FPV, maybe 95%. But being able to go from what you want to do in your head to inputting that with your fingers to seeing that on the screen and getting the feedback you expect. You want to practice things that will help you do that. So those cross-coordinated turns helps with when you get all out of sorts and don't know which way is up, you know which inputs you're going to put in, so you're not going to crash and you can save yourself. Because you're going to get in positions when you start flying and where you don't know which way is up. At least it happened for me a lot. I didn't know which way was the ground, which way was the sky. You get all confused, and just being able to know how to save yourself. Like if I just went up in the air and I closed my eyes, I didn't start spinning around, I let go. Well, I gotta let go on the horizon. So let's try this again. I just close my eyes and manipulate the sticks and fly around, and then open my eyes. Okay, there you go. I'm straight and level. So, just doing stuff like that would is going to help you become a better pilot. Be able to get yourself out of situations, things like that. But if there isn't any more questions, or if there's anything you guys need help with, leave it down in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, I think, chase these drift cars around for a little bit and call it a day. So let me know down in the chat if you got any questions or need any help with anything. I hope I answered your questions, Smokey, about flying. Need for tips on flying straight. If you're still watching, just manipulate the controls less. Look where you want to go. So instead of looking, right in front of you, look out as far as you can and pick a spot and just fly to it, and try not to adjust the controls that much. Make sure you have enough throttle to stay in the air. Use a little bit of pitch correction to keep your altitude either back or forward if you want to go up or down, and just let it go. Figure out where the wind is at. Keep it pointed a little bit in the wind, so that way it blows you back into the direction you want to go. So if the wind's coming from my right, I'm gonna just tilt a little bit to the right, and the wind will eventually, push me to the left. Stuff like that. But yeah, just go out and fly and have fun, and practice drills that'll make you better. Don't just go fly to fly. Fly with a purpose. Practice with a purpose. And watch my videos. And like and subscribe to my channel. You become a better FPV pilot instantly. Nah, just joking. But yeah, subscribe. I got some good tips on drills to do. I do these live streams every Friday at 10 a.m. Central. So if you don't have any questions this week, if you come across anything until next week, drop them down in the comments if you're watching this in the replay. Got any questions? Ooh, there's a blue car. I only saw the red one. Where did that blue car come from? I wonder if he's doing a different track. Ooh, he is going a different direction. All right. My drone is not fast enough to keep up with these cars. I'm flying a 3.5 inch quad that I custom made on this game to try to match my actual 3.5 inch build that I did. It flies pretty realistically to the one I built, so I like using this one, but it's not so fast because it's only 3.5 inches and you can only get so much speed out of those. But it's fast enough for most cases. It's got enough power. But I can't get in front of this guy. When I get in front of him, I don't know which way he's going yet. Oh, well. Well, thanks for joining in. And thanks for having questions this week. That's my first question I've had on these live streams. This is my third week doing it, so hopefully we get some more. Hopefully we get some more viewers. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more of these, and we will see you next Friday. All right, have a good one, guys.